Good day, everyone!
I am Maybelline C. Abalio.
I am Kenneth Van Bolano,
and we are the reporters for today.
Our topic for today is all about
Pricing issues and channel management.
so what is pricing issue?
Word forms issue prices, countable noun. The issue price of shares is the price at which they are offered for sale when they first become available to the public.
Next, Maybelline will explain to you the importance of pricing.
So, the importance of pricing. Pricing decisions cause top-level marketing executives more concerned than any other strategic marketing decision area. And pricing is viewed as having a more direct link to the firm's bottom line.
Next is the anatomy of channel pricing structure. Channel participants each want a part of a total price sufficient to cover their cost and provide a desired level of profit.
The golden rule of channel pricing. It is not enough to base pricing decisions solely on the market, internal cost considerations, and competitive factors. Rather, for those firms using independent channel members, explicit consideration of how pricing decisions affect channel member behavior is an important part of pricing strategy. Pricing decisions can have a substantial impact on channel member performance.
Influencing pricing strategy. The major challenge for the channel manager is to help foster pricing strategies that promote channel member cooperation and minimize conflict. Channel manager's role. Major areas of consideration in a manufacturer's pricing decision. Internal cost considerations, target market considerations, competitive considerations, and channel considerations. The channel manager must focus on the channel considerations and work to incorporate them into the firm's pricing decisions. Channel manager's role to find out about channel member views and to appraise their effects on channel member performance. Channel managers' role have channel members' viewpoints on pricing issues included as an integral part of the manufacturer's price-making process. To such action anticipates and hopefully avoids problems that may arise after pricing decisions have taken effect. Channel pricing guidelines. Why? To help those involved in pricing decisions to focus more clearly on the channel implications of their pricing decisions. Number 2, to provide general prescriptions on how to formulate pricing strategies that will help promote channel member cooperation and minimize conflict. Profit margins. Each efficient reseller must obtain unit profit margins in excess of unit operating cost, or channel members who believe that the manufacturer is not allowing them sufficient margins are likely to seek out other suppliers or establish and promote their own private brands. Each class of reseller margin should vary in rough proportion to the cost of the functions the reseller performs. Number 1, do channel members hold inventories? 2, do they make purchases in large or small quantities? Number 3, do they provide repair services? Number 4, do they extend credit to customers? Number 5, do they deliver? 6, do they help train the customer sales force? Rival brands. Guideline number 3. At all points in the vertical chain, channel levels, prices charged must be in line with those charged for comparable rival brands. So channel managers should attempt to weigh any margin differentials between their own and competitive brands in terms of what kind of support their firms offer and what level of support they expect from channel members. Special arrangements. Guideline number 4. Special distribution arrangements, variations in functions performed, or departures from the usual flow of merchandise should be accompanied by corresponding variations in financial arrangements. The margin structure should reflect any changes in the usual allocation of distribution tasks between the manufacturer and the channel members. Margin variation and models. Variations in margins on individual models and styles of a line are permissible and expected. However, they must vary around the conventional margin for the trade. Channel members are often amenable to accepting the lower margins associated with promotional products so long as they are convinced of the promotional value of the product in building patronage. Price points. A price structure should contain offerings at the chief price points, where such price points exist. Price points are specific prices, usually at the retail level, to which consumers have become accustomed. Failure to recognize retail price points can create problems for the manufacturer as well as its channel members if consumers expect to find products at particular price points and such products are not offered. Product variations. A manufacturer's price structure must reflect variations in the attractiveness of individual product offerings. If the price differences are not closely associated with visible or identified product features, the channel members will have a more difficult selling job. Guideline caveat. There is no guarantee. Particular circumstances and situations exist in which these guidelines will not apply or will be irrelevant.
There are 5 major pricing issues a manufacturer is likely to face. Number 1, pricing control in the channel. Number 2, the impact of major price policy changes. Number 3, the passing of price increases through the channel. Number 4, use of price incentives. And last one is the problems created by gray market and free riding. Pricing control in the channel and developing pricing strategies. There are 3 guidelines. Number 1, profit margins should be adequate for channel members. Number 2, margins offered to different classes of channel members should vary in proportion to the functions the channel members perform. Number 3, margins should be competitive with those of rival brands. The impact of major price policy changes. Pricing policies help companies make sure they remain profitable and give them the flexibility to price separate products differently. Your company might value having a well-defined pricing policy so it can make price adjustments quickly and take advantage of products' strengths in one or more markets. The results indicate that pricing policy has an impact on profits and sales. Hence, this pricing policy and these places may have influence on customer satisfaction, and further information has been provided in the research. The passing of price increases through the channel. Passing price increases through the channel so long as each channel member is able to pass along manufacturer-initiated price increases to the next channel member, and ultimately to the final user. The price increase issue is not too worrisome. Use of price incentives. A common form of sales promotion in which price reductions are offered to consumers to encourage them to buy a particular product earlier or in larger quantity. So what are the two purposes of incentives? The first is its ability to attract workers to the jobs and be able to retain them. The second is its ability to incentivize workers to produce an output, as workers who do not produce do not generate any profit for the firm. What is an example of price incentive? For example, a rise in the price of any good is an incentive for us to back off from buying it as much as we used to. Perhaps we'll buy a different good instead. So, for example, a rise in the price of butter creates an incentive to buy less butter. Maybe we'll buy margarine instead. What is gray market and free riding? The free rider and other explanations. Gray market imports can be roughly characterized as the international version of an authorized domestic transshipment or arbitrage. Both involve movement of products from one area to another by a third party without explicit permission of the original seller. What problems can gray or counterfeit markets cause for companies? Essentially, gray market activity disrupts the invisible hand of competition in a given sales region by luring purchasers and consumers away from authorized channels and creating artificial demand for goods imported by unauthorized means.
Exercising control in pricing, because channel members typically view pricing as the area over which they have total control. First, rule out any type of coercive approaches to controlling channel member pricing policies. Second, the manufacturer should encroach on the domain of channel member pricing policies only if the manufacturer believes that it is in his or her vital long-term strategic interest to do so. Last, if the manufacturer believes that it is necessary to exercise some control over member pricing, he or she should do so through friendly persuasion. Changing price policies. Changes in manufacturer pricing policies or related terms of sale cause reactions among channel members. Channel members fear such changes because they have become accustomed to the strategy, or their own pricing strategies may be closely tied to those of the manufacturer. Passing price increases through the channel. Strategies for channel members to use in order to avoid simply passing along price increases through the channel. First, manufacturers should consider the long and the short-term implications of such increases versus maintaining the current prices. Second, manufacturers should do whatever possible if passing on the price increase is unavoidable. Manufacturers could change their strategies in other areas of the marketing mix to help offset the effects of such increases. Using price incentives, and channel manufacturers face difficulties gaining strong retailer acceptance and follow-through on pricing promotions. Possible solutions: make pricing promotions as simple and straightforward as possible. Design price promotion strategies to be at least as attractive to retailers as they are to consumers. Gray market and free riding. Gray market, the sale of brand name products at very low prices by unauthorized distributors or dealers. Free riding describes the behavior of distributors and dealers who offer extremely low prices but little service to customers. Channel design decisions that result in closely controlled channels and selective distribution, as well as changing buyer preferences, may help limit the growth of the gray market and free riding.